Hello. After a 1 week break, let's see what's going on in the markets. So on Friday, um, the U.S. credit creditability and credit rating, I guess, has been lowered from AAA to AA1. And this was Friday afternoon, and we saw the hit this very Monday morning in the Asia trade, where US futures fell. And then in the European trade, they increased a little bit. And then during the day start, around here, we can see that overall everything increased. Now, Bitcoin has hit, I believe, an all time high at $106,000, which is clearly a lot. Uh, but then when we look here, I mean, everything pretty much just started lower. Berkshire Hathaway is near and dear to my heart, specifically because Senor Warren Buffett has decided to um, leave his post and be more in an advising role. And it's currently just been struggling, I think, to get its footing. But at the same time, it's only been, I think, 2 weeks since Warren Buffett announced that he'd be stepping down as CEO. So overall, I don't really see any problems with that. If anything, it's highly impressive that there has been such little downward mobility. So that is something to be celebrated. Now, when it comes to my personal journey, I am extremely upset that ASML has not been falling. It had been falling when I was buying it, and now, as you can see, I'm at 1.85 shares. That is extremely annoying to me. Applied Materials hasn't been performing too well. AMD, uh, just a I mean, I don't want to say horrible, but it has been extremely disappointing. Now, CoreWeave, that IPO has been exceptional. Their shares were listed at $40, and I bought most of them at 39 exactly. They had a bunch of trouble with their IPO. Nvidia invested a huge amount, I think around $2 billion. And as you can see now, they're 90. I got an update that they at some point hit $91 per share. Well, almost 91 and a half here, as we can see. So yeah, that's been a great investment, specifically, I mean, not just for me, but also for Nvidia. Besides that, um, I decided to buy Owl at 1940 a piece. Uh, I gained 0.08%. I'm a rich man. What can I say? I should probably stop investing at this point. Just take the returns and live off of everything else. Ford is coming back up again, although I don't know about its future too much. But then, um, yeah, the other major thing is that the yields have actually been increasing in US Treasuries. Um, there's not necessarily a huge sell off. Europeans have already removed their capital from the US uh, around Liberation Day. So they're not necessarily investing back. They're also not necessarily withdrawing more of their funds. European capital is basically staying put as of now. They're just trying to see what's going on. And when it comes to Asian markets, well, China is going to be hurting a little bit from a trade war. The EU, by the way, has decreased its growth outlook from 1.2% to 0.9%, again due to the Trump tariffs. And something similar is also going on with China, which also indicates that the US is going to be hurt. I think that the US is going to be hurt more than the other two blocks that I mentioned, but we will need to see. So far, though, US jobs data is still going strong. Consumer price index, not too much of a change there, meaning that there's not a huge uptick in inflation. On the other hand, there are also not necessarily positive changes either. So it's an interesting economic standoff, as we can see. However, I'm happy with all of this. I gained just a little bit. I mean, an insignificant amount, but the past week I gained like 3%. Past month it's 13, which actually is quite solid, of course. Past 3 months it's 3%. Year to date it should probably be zero. No, it's close to five. Okay, well, to be fair, I've been slightly outperforming the S&P 500, which is basically the VU. We can also see this as, today's data. I'm up 0.14%. VU, or the S&P 500, is down 0.1%. However, I have to say that stock picking hasn't really done any good to me. I bought Nvidia early on, and I mainly talk about Nvidia because I think that it's the most volatile stock I own right now. But I bought it at, I think, an average of 65 or 35. I know that that makes a huge difference. I do understand. However, I've seen this guy move from almost 150 a share down to 92. And at 92, I actually bought five more shares at 100. Sorry, at 92, I also bought another five shares, which rounded my 85 shares up to 95. Then I believe I bought five more at 97. So my, I guess, last 15 shares were at roughly 97. Now, I believe that it's going to again explode, and then it's again going to come back a little bit, because Nvidia is a company that has the AI hype behind it. It is one of the main infrastructure providers. However, we cannot forget that AI is still relatively new, and we still do not know how exactly it fits in or is going to be affecting the economy. So, starting software engineers, for example, easily replaced. I have to say that, yes. When it comes to vibe coding and tools like Cursor, it's quite easy to see how certain people could be replaced. And in the past year, we see Nvidia again, like going up 45%, down roughly 40%, up again almost 30%, whatever. And it's been really volatile of a stock. And when we look at the 5 year, we see how here in roughly 2021, it reached a bit of a plateau, right? I mean, this would be a lot easier to talk about on a logarithmic scale. But then in 2023, it again reached a plateau, goes up, goes down, whatever. Since 2024, I believe that it has reached a bit of a plateau. It's going down again. It's probably going to explode again, maybe to 170. And I'm not a Wall Street analyst, I'm just a bystander. I just observe. But I can tell trends 2018, 2021. Also, do not pay any attention to the dates here. I'm just saying the trajectory here. Exponential increase, quick decrease. Exponential increase, slight misstep, whatever. This is again the slight misstep. I'm expecting it to maybe come back down to the 90s, but I also would not be surprised if it shoots up to 170. All I know is that I simply will be holding because why not? So yeah, overall, just hold, keep a cool head because no one knows what's going on. Even though the market has been going up again, I would like to remind you that we went significantly down as well. So again, you just need to keep a steady head. I personally do not sell, even if they're underperformers. Applied Materials, no, sorry, not Applied Materials, but AMD has been a significant underperformer for me. They're like down what? Okay, 23% now. Okay, cool. They used to be down almost 40%, as you can see. I mean, I'm not selling. Instead, I'm just buying some ETFs, I believe. DGRO. It grows, it also pays a nice dividend. Berkshire Hathaway, I see as almost a semi ETF because it simply is a holding company. It has so many other different industries within it. It is quite diversified. Um, Unlike Apple, Apple fell again. SCHG, the ultimate, you know, dividend growth ETF. SCHG, one of my favorites, the growth ETF. Now I'm just super happy that I bought a lot of it during the dip. SCHY, international dividends. Again, VYMI, also international dividends. So I'm just keeping a steady head. I know what I'm doing. I think in the next 10 years, I'll be happy about having kept a steady head. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm not representing any external interests whatsoever. So, yeah. Anyways, happy investing. Today is a day where we just see how traders are winning and losing massively, and investors, who, again, people who keep a steady head and who stay in the market, are simply seeing the waves while moving forward. All right. Anyways, happy Monday evening, and I hope you have a great rest of your week.